Okay. So the time is 6 o'clock and I call the October 25th, 2020 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes.
I read the minutes and I make a motion they be approved as written.
Okay, I'll second that. So a motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes as written. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Hearing none. They're approved. Citizens' comments. I have some emailed citizens' comments that we received after the deadline last week. And I also found one in spam from last week's meeting, so I'm going to read them now. This one is from Kenneth and Janet Wiesman, 22 Lakeside Terrace, Voluntown, Connecticut. A 10-foot drawdown of the lake would be great, but the decision has to be made now in order for landowners to plan for any major repairs. Wetland approval is needed for any work to be done, and they only meet once a month, if that. Horsepower ordinance and beach pond drawdown. Dear Board of Selectmen, I am Denise Lambert, 109 Bennett Road, Voluntown. I do not want a horsepower ordinance on Beach Pond. 99% of the lake homeowners vote responsibly. We do not need or want a horsepower restriction. Boat traffic has significantly increased when Rhode Island created an additional launch several years. Rhode Island allows access but does not provide porta potties or receptacles for trash. What do these 100+ people do with their bodily waste and trash? Lake owners maintain septic and trash. Are we required to swim in someone's waste to create further issues downstream to the waterways beyond the Beach Pond Dam? My recommendation, permanently close one of the launches. This would limit access due to the lack of parking. Friday through Sunday, assign a tenant to charge launch parking fee of $25, June 1st to September 15th. Unregistered voters would be denied access. If horsepower restriction is put in place, the property values of Beach Pond Lake residents would plummet. Each beach pond should have a reasonable drawdown for more shore maintenance. Thank you, Denise Lambert. This one's from Craig Pernardo, 831 Beach Pond Road. Please update my public record statement. I made an error. I do not support a horsepower restriction. I am sorry for the error. Cheers, Craig. Okay, that's all we had. So correspondence and announcements. Okay. All right, I have a flyer from UCFS Healthcare. I posted it on the website and shared it on the Facebook page. It's the distribution dates for a pop-up drive-through food pantry that Voluntown residents are able to attend. And on October 8th, which is a Thursday, from 9 to 10 a.m., they'll be having the drive-through at the Voluntown Town Hall parking lot. I received a notification from DEEP from their forester and about some harvesting that they're going to be doing in the forest. And this is on Pendleton Hill Road, and they notified the neighbors that the property attaches. Okay, so I received a Dear Board of Selectmen, in the 1960s, we were the only, this is from Al Binder. In the 1960s, we were the only house on Hell Hollow Road. My father gave a piece of property to the town to be used as a bus turnaround. Now in the year 2020, the plow truck and the bus, when there are children on the road, go to the bottom of Hell Hollow and turn around at the pond. I would like this small piece of property returned. This would allow me to landscape or make improvements without worrying about boundaries. This would also remove the town's liability if anything were ever to happen on this spot. Regards, Al Binder. So I would like to put this on the agenda for the next meeting. So we can talk about this.
All right, the only thing is check with the school and make sure it's all right with them.
Yep, I already checked with the school. I already checked with the attorney. I've already checked everything, but we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting so that we have it on the agenda.
All right.
I did forget to ask to add things to the agenda today, which was the new position and the mask wearing.
You can do that now, can't you?
Yeah. I don't see why not. It's not anything that we'd have to vote on. So the other thing we'd probably have to vote on. So I'd rather put that on the agenda. These are things that are just discussion. So if it's okay with Ron, we can add them to the agenda.
It's right with me.
Okay. All right. So I think that's all we had.
Wait a minute.
Skip's here.
There it is.
Good evening. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. We just made it to board and committee reports.
Okay.
And that's Pam. So you made it just in time to hear Pam.
And
Are you
Pam's
gonna
here.
add the stuff first, or?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're gonna add, did we make a motion and vote on it? I can't remember now. Got distracted. To add the new position and the mask wearing.
We
Yeah,
used to make a motion all the time. I make a motion as such.
Okay.
And just, this is for the new position and to mask wearing at all times in town
Mask
hall?
wearing in town. It's to add it to the agenda.
Gotcha. I second the motion.
Okay. So the motion's been made and seconded to add the discussion on the new position and mask wearing in town to the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none, it's on the agenda. But now we're moving to the next item, which is board and committee reports. And it is our town clerk, Pam, to talk about the election and absentee ballots.
All right. Hi, everybody. So I'm going to talk about the primary first real quick, because there were a number of things that went very wrong. I'm hoping won't be repeated. The state made a lot of promises to the town clerks and the registrars that they just totally fell down on and did not do. I know for the registrars, they promised them PPE, they promised them cleaning. And what they did was offer them very little of those things. The cleaning was going to be 2 weeks after, and it was just the machines. They have to be sealed that night. No one could take them up on that offer. And you had to use their company or they didn't pay. And as far as the PPE, they sent one box to me and never sent anything to the registrars. As far as I go, they were supposed to be mailing all Democrats and Republicans their applications. Those applications were supposed to come back to me. I scanned them, put them into the computer, and then a mail house was supposed to be sending out all the ballots. They made us order 80% absentee and 80% poll ballots. And they didn't even start mailing them until a week and a half after the due date. If I had done that, I would have been fined. It's a law. We have to issue them the day that we are supposed to. That was the biggest screw up, because what happened is those people didn't have time to get their ballots back in. The other huge problem I had was with the mail. I got many applications in for absentee ballots that were dated 17 days before I actually received them. And I've gotten a couple in since the election, still applications that were dated well before the election. So these people never even received a ballot from me because I didn't get their application in time. The boxes did not come in time. There's so many things that went wrong on this election. But one of the biggest things was the media campaign the state promised. They were supposed to put a blitz up because the directions that they had enclosed in the absentee ballots were incorrect. So people didn't know how to send them back to us, which they ended up making an executive order allowing us to accept them without the outer envelope. But again, it took another executive order because of another mistake. So this time, to avoid all of that, they are sending out the applications for the November election. It should go out after Labor Day by the middle of September. The absentee ballots are available as of October 2nd. So it should be enough time to get them in if I can get this out to people in time. I am going to be handling everything else myself. That's a lot. It could be up to 2,000 absentee ballots. So it's definitely going to be a lot, but I'd still rather do it myself than put it back in the state's hands. And they are not offering to do anything other than that for us this time. They'll be drop shipping supplies because none of us have those kind of supplies on hand. You need serial numbered envelopes and directions and inner and outer envelopes. So all of those things, I have probably a couple hundred. I'll need a couple thousand. So they're supposed to be getting those to us. Hopefully all this will start happening. They stopped having conference calls with us. They've stopped really communicating very much with us because they know the town clerks are angry, and it's been very difficult since the primary. So, do you have any questions?
Thank you for your report, and thank you for putting up with that.
I just want to make sure you guys are aware of what's been going on. That was all, because hopefully it'll be better this time, but there's a lot of things that happened that could definitely come back on the town. You know, the late ballots and the late reception. And this happened long before any of the whole postal thing. This was just happening.
Right.
So I don't know. You guys have any questions or anything?
I'm good. Thank you, Pam.
Thank
All right,
you.
you're welcome. Are you guys done with me?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Have a good meeting.
Have a good
Bye.
night, Pam.
Bye.
All right. Onto the agenda, old business, we have the Methodist Meeting House. We didn't get any public comments about that. We were going to put it on the agenda again for public comments and for an update. I did manage to get in touch with Ty Cool, who has been instrumental in preserving the meeting house, like trying to preserve it where it is. He gave me some contact information with Connecticut Trust, and I'm gonna, I haven't had a chance to yet, but I'm gonna reach out to see if they have any guidance with if we did an auction or anything else that we could use help with. So before we proceed with the possibility of an auction. So I don't know if you guys have any more comments.
No.
Nope.
All right, lost my pen. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the beach pond drawdown update. So last week I was putting all the information together to do the drawdown request. The request goes to the commissioner of DEP because the commissioner of DEP is the one that approves or denies the request. So I was looking at the drawdown policy and figured the best thing to do was to call the commissioner's office and talk to someone there to see if we could work on a plan to do a deep drawdown next year or the following year, which would give enough time for the residents that need to repair retaining walls or remove weeds. It would give them enough time to get the supplies they need, get the permits they need, get everything in place. And also to just figure out where we would stand on doing that. So I ended up talking to Deputy Commissioner Betsy Wingfield from DEP. And I just let her know that the dam drawdown policy and all of the replies that I get from DEP when we requested drawdown is that they don't believe in retaining walls. They're not environmentally friendly, and they don't believe in deep drawdowns for fixing retaining walls. But I said to her, I said, that doesn't change the fact that everyone there has retaining walls, and that those retaining walls are crumbling, are a safety hazard, and are a hazard possibly to the environment and their property. So that they needed to get fixed regardless, and that the state needs to work with us for them to do that, or come up with a plan with the residents to possibly phase out of them. That just saying no every time I request a drawdown is not helping that. So she agreed and was going to talk to other people there. And she said that when I talked about the 10-foot request, she said, well, if they didn't approve an 8-foot, they're not going to approve a 10-foot. And I said, yeah, probably true. And she said, what would we look at? And I suggested 4 to 6 feet. So, and I told her that it's insane every year trying to play a guessing game as to what they're going to say yes to. It's like, I told her, I'm like, you said, she's like, well, you requested 8 feet last year. And I'm like, yeah, but I thought that would be like a talking point. Like, we request 8 feet, but maybe you'll come back and say, how about we do a different feet, instead of trying to play a guessing game every year until ding, ding, we hit the right number. So she said she was going to talk to people and get back to me. And I've heard that a lot from DEP when I ask questions. So I did reach out to residents today and asked, well, I reached out to them last week to ask them to send me photos of their retaining walls to include to the letter to the commissioner. So I did get and thank you to the residents. I did get a lot of really good pictures of the retaining wall damage and weeds in the area. And I put all those pictures together, and I will send them in to the commissioner's office, because I talked to the office, but I also want to send a letter too with a 4 to 6 foot request for fall of 21 or 22 with the pictures. And I asked the residents if they could do a petition for that 4 to 6 foot drawdown that we could submit as well with their name and signature and address on it. So that will get all of our information in a row too. So, and that's my update so far. I don't know if you guys have any questions or comments on that.
Do we know roughly how many residents there are that want to work on the retaining walls? I'm just trying to think. You're pursuing a great strategy of strength in numbers here, but I'm just wondering, how big is the number, and is it going to be enough to get them to listen?
You've got a lot of them way up toward Beachview Road. There's quite a few there. Then it's an open spot. There's quite a few. I mean, when you start getting down toward Bennett Circle, almost every one there has some sort of wall.
Right,
And
but how many of them are saying that they actively need to work on them?
Oh,
I think everyone does actively need to work on them. And if they don't have walls, they have weeds. So I think between the walls and the weeds, I think it's
just about everybody who lives on a pond has a problem.
Okay. I was more just curiosity on the number, not pushing back against it, just saying, how many do we have? Just so we can say, part of the talking point will be, we've got 50, we've got 100, whatever the number is.
It's probably between 25 and 50, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'd say all of that. With the weeds and the walls, I would say more.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty hefty number in terms of if we can get, 75% response rate on people signing a petition. to try and get the DEP to do more than the minimal amount that they've done over the past couple of drawdowns.
Right.
That was my only question.
Okay. So that's the beach pond drawdown update. Next is new business. We can do the snow plow bid, Dennison Hill. So we do this every year. I'm trying to find what I did with it. All right, so we have the Town of Allentown Board of Selectmen 2020-21 winter season. For the bid, the Board of Selectmen is seeking sealed bids for screen sand for winter road maintenance in Allentown. Sand must meet specifications of the state of Connecticut and will be delivered to the Town of Allentown storage site located at 514 Brown Road as requested by the Board of Selectmen. Is that part of are we doing the sand bid too?
Yes.
Okay. The Board of Selectmen is seeking bids for snow plowing of approximately 1,000 feet of town-owned dirt road with 2 turnarounds located on Dennison Hill Road. Contact First Selectman Tracy Hansen for more details. Bids will be accepted. We said we changed that, but I don't have the changed copy. In sealed and placed in the Dropbox. Are we doing the Dropbox still for the sealed
Yes.
ones? Okay. Dropbox outside the main entrance to Allentown Town Hall, 115 Main Street, or hand delivered until 4 p.m. on Tuesday, September 22nd. Bids will be opened at the Board of Selectmen's meeting to be held at 6 p.m. September 22nd. The Town of Allentown, if it is determined to be in the best interest of the town, is not obligated to accept the low dollar bid price. The Town of Allentown reserves the right to reject any and all bids. Bid packets will be available on the website at voluntown.gov, RFPR FQ, or at the Allentown Town Hall Monday through Thursday between 9 and 4 p.m. So that's the bid wording. If you guys want to approve that or change
I
anything.
make a
make a
motion
motion.
that we approve it.
I make a motion to approve it.
Okay. So motion's been made by both of you. One of you want to change to a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, hearing none. It's approved. Driveway permit, Robin Cemetery. So we received driveway permit application from the Robin Cemetery Association. They have hired Gear Construction to put in a gravel road through Robin Cemetery for additional lots. The road would be connecting to Shetucket Turnpike, which is why they are applying for the permit. I can read you their letter. Town of Allentown, to whom it may concern, the Robin Cemetery Association have entered into agreement with Gear Construction Co. Inc. to perform site work at the cemetery to install a gravel driveway and turnaround. This driveway is necessary to expand the burial plots within the cemetery. Enclosed, you will find our estimate for the work to be performed. Sincerely yours, John Christensen, President. So they submitted the plans and everything looks fine. Because they are partially funded, this project's partially funded with money from the town. I am suggesting that we waive the bond and the fee for the permit as well.
I agree.
So
I agree as well.
need to approve the application for the permit.
I looked at it and told them what I'd like to see done and how far to put that apron in. And I told them that if they do that, I'm I'm good for it. I make a motion, we accept the application.
Okay.
I second the motion.
All right, so the motion's been made and seconded to approve the application for the Robbins Cemetery Association with, can I amend that to add with the fees waived?
I will make it a separate motion. I make a motion
Okay.
that we waive the fees for the Robin Cemetery driveway permit.
Okay,
I'll
all
second that.
right. So we have two motions. We'll do the one to approve the permit first. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
And the second is to waive the fees. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. We got it. So that's going. All right, next is a new position. When we are putting out a job position for the, what do we call it? Building office and land use secretary. And trying to remember, and
You need me to look it up?
yeah, I'm trying to think of what it, and
Hang on.
what did I, and something,
Hang on. Building office and land use secretary and general office assistant.
yes, which is one position for 24 to 25 hours. It would be the person that has this position currently is going down to 10 hours a week and moving to be all it as the aide in the town clerk's office. So this opens a position for the building office and zoning office secretary. And they would be assisting the building inspector, zoning inspector, and inland wetlands officer. And they'd also be available to assist with the zoning, planning and zoning, inland wetlands, and ZBA commissions as needed. They would also be doing helping out with other department heads, and would be doing like answering phones and taking messages for the whole town hall when needed, doing the website updates, social media updates, and email newsletter, and other things as needed. So this would be a 24 to 25 hour a week position. So I don't know if you guys had any questions. We have with the cut down in hours from the current position. That covers the salary, or it's part-time, so it covers the wage, and I don't know if you had any other questions.
No, none from me.
Nope, I'm happy.
Okay. So that's an update on that. And
You need
then-
to approve the job description?
I'm not really done with the job description yet because I haven't heard from Peter yet.
Okay,
I heard from Joe, and he said he was fine with it.
Okay.
But I haven't heard, a lot of it's for the building office and the zoning office.
okay.
I needed to double check make sure I covered everything for his help first. So that's that. Mask wearing in town. From talking with Angus Health and residents in town, there's been several complaints about the same two businesses for not complying with for employees not complying with mask wearing. The town, it's what? Hailing? I thought I heard noise. It's hailing out. I forgot where I was. Oh,
Same
for
two
not,
businesses.
yeah, not complying with mask wearing. The town is, what the town's supposed to, and like appoint someone to be the COVID compliance enforcer. I have not been able to find anyone I've asked to be our COVID compliance officer. It's a volunteer position, thinks I'm absolutely insane and they don't want anything to do with that. So since we don't have a COVID compliance officer, that comes down to the board to make sure that the mask wearing, the COVID protocols from the governor are being enforced. So the COVID enforcer has the power to shut down the businesses if they're being non-compliant for X number of times until they come into compliance. That is not something that I want to do at all, is close a business in town. But they do need to be warned that they need to comply. And if there are more complaints, there will be consequences. I did print it.
If you could get copies of the law,
I
and
did. I printed
did?
out, yep, I printed out 2 copies of the business, the safe business opening plans. I made 2 copies of those and I highlighted the section on mask wearing, and I have them in the office if you want to pass them out.
Yes, I will bring them to the violators and pass it out. And if it has to be, if they have to put up signs that they won't serve people out masks, that they're going to have to do.
Yep, it's highlighted, the section's highlighted where the complaints have, what the complaints have been. And that's where they need to make sure they're complying what's highlighted, because that's where the complaints were for.
So
So
so what will it take for us to get to the point where we order a business shut down?
I honestly hope it doesn't come to that, because I don't want to do that. But if there's
I agree with you. I'm not looking to shut anyone down either. But I think we need to spell this out at this meeting. If we're going to pass any sort of resolution that businesses in town must follow the governor's recommendation, then I think we also need to spell out what the criteria is at which we say the town of Voluntown has ordered your business to be shut down.
Right, because, and the thing is, like, Uncas Health has the power to do the restaurants, because they're inspectors that have to do with anything with food or health, like hair salons. That's all under the power of Uncas Health. When they get complaints on food places or hairdressers, they're the ones that have the power to shut them down. For the other businesses, that would be the COVID enforcer, which they're the ones that have the power to shut them down. So.
And what does that mean? It's I'm thinking in terms of, if we say a business is shut down, what if they don't shut down?
I don't know.
You get to the state.
They would go to, yeah, I don't know.
And Tracy, I'm not trying to push this back on you to say,
I know.
come up with an answer. I'm just thinking out loud here that, Tracy, if they don't shut down, we're going to send you in.
We're giving them warnings right now. So we're giving them warnings. I'll look into all of the questions that you're asking, and we will, next meeting, have more of a procedure, or if they don't comply. But what they're getting right now is their first warning. So I'll do that, and I will check in to see what other places are doing as far as warnings and non-compliant stuff, and we'll have that ready for the next meeting. How about that?
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, we haven't had a concerning number of cases, increase in cases in town. I know some places like Danbury, they're having a huge uptake in cases, so things are more strict. Here, we don't have an upgrade in cases, so it's school starting, and so I don't know. We'll have to see, but people are concerned that, especially with the new executive order for mandatory mask wearing, that the employers and employees should be following that. So. That's all. I don't know if you guys have anything, but that's all I have for the meeting.
Nope, I'm good.
No, I think that's a doozy to end on.
Yeah, I know.
It's got to be addressed, Skip, and I don't mind.
I agree. So rather than taking the action of since we couldn't find a volunteer for appointing as COVID enforcement officer, are we appointing ourselves as?
I gotta check with that too. Right now, we just got a warning out, so it's just to give them the warning, to remind them of the policies, that I have to check with too with the attorney, because I don't know if we can be that. I don't know. That's what I gotta
If it
check.
has to be, I would take the position. Like you say, you've got enough things to do.
Right.
But I can talk to people, and I don't know how much is involved, but that's why we have to have something written so we can show them.
Right.
And if it's got to be posted outside of the businesses in town with a sign, well, that's what we got to do.
We can appoint Ron.
Without going through the lawyer, can we pass a resolution stating all businesses in town must abide by Connecticut COVID-19 guidelines?
Yeah, but the state, anything the state
Oh
puts
yeah,
out.
the state already has it, so it's already the guidelines.
Yep.
So the state already trumps us, so we're just enforcing the state regulations or reminding people of the state regulations.
We'll get to the enforcement piece next meeting.
Yeah, because Ron can be appointed as that if he wants, or we can see.
Yeah, see what they say. You say if you need somebody, I don't mind. I can talk to the businesses. I know most of them anyways.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
So we'll start with that with our warnings, and I will touch base and find out what other towns are doing. And it's just crazy to appoint someone as an enforcer of this and have them with the power to shut businesses. That to me is more, I don't know if that's more worrisome than having the board do it. I don't know. So
I'm going to take a guess that the lawyer is going to say that one of the three of us cannot be the COVID-19 enforcement officer. There needs to be a separation of duties on that.
Yeah.
Well, one way to find out.
Yeah. That doesn't stop us from just talking to businesses and saying, hey, these are the guidelines you are required to follow. I don't know if we want to bring up shutting it down or not yet, but we need to tell them that they're required to follow state guidelines as a first warning, and then come up with an escalation path from there.
Okay.
That's fine. This afternoon, I did go to the package store when I left the town hall, and I talked to him and explained it. He said he thought he was doing what they are required to do. That's why I want to have something in writing to show them what the state wants. And then, he wasn't, he agreed. He says, no, I don't want to be shut down. I said, we don't want to shut you down, but either people follow it or something's going to happen. Either that or, like I say, a sign, no mask, no service, something to that extent, and they got to follow it.
Right.
So, like I say, we'll talk about it again.
Yeah, all the information's in those packets. So if they have any questions, there's numbers they can call to get their questions answered. But the mandatory mask wearing by everyone just came into effect like 2 weeks ago. So, when That was probably 2 weeks ago. So they might not be aware of that, understandably, so.
Yeah, well, that's it. So we say get them the update and warn them about it, and then we go from there.
Yeah, because I forgot about that too, because before that, they weren't in violation if they were behind the plexiglass, because I know a lot of the places have the plexiglass, and if they were behind the plexiglass and maintaining the distance, then it wasn't a problem if they weren't in restaurants or any of the other places. But that has changed in the past couple of weeks, so. Okay, anything else?
Nope, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned. That was a
Thank you,
lot
people.
faster than last time.
Yes, it was.
Yes. I think last time
All
was
right.
the record.
Yeah.
Yes, and not a good record either.